Welcome back to Tractors, Trails, and Living Free. And we got a great day of weather. And so I'm going to go ahead and make an attempt here. Do a small attempt at first just to see what this edger is going to do, the Atlas 80 volt battery powered edger. We're going to go ahead and see what it does here on our front sidewalk. And if it seems like it's got some potential, maybe we'll just go ahead and take it where it's where the sidewalks are a little bit more grizzly and see what happens, see what it can do. So let's go ahead and get started and hope you enjoy it. I think that worked pretty good. What do you think? I got cut a real nice head there. All right, guys. So we went ahead and cut a groove on each side of the sidewalk there. I don't know if you can see that very well. I'm gonna go ahead and blow it out with the leaf blower just so it can be a little bit more visible. And enjoy. Alright guys, so you saw us go ahead and clean up an edge that's been maintained basically on a weekly basis. Wasn't too much of a challenge, and it did a pretty good job. So we're going to go ahead and try this other sidewalk here. Now this lot clearly hasn't been mowed for a couple weeks at least, I want to say. So, and I don't know that the sidewalk edges are ever really taken care of. So we're going to go ahead and try to do just a good long length of that, see how it goes, and get some good before and afters, and a good sample test to basically let you know what we think about it. So we'll catch you back in a second. So I really wish I had my flat shovel here right now, but I don't. It's out of the shed out at the property where the tractors are, so I'm trying to use my foot to clear a little bit of the overburden away. Looks like it's cutting it pretty well. I'm just trying to make sure I got a good looking edge so that when we're all said and done, however much we do get done, looks pretty good. It ain't clean, but they're not doing bad.
Yeah, gotta buy something, you gotta try it out.
Absolutely. Alright guys, so you saw us test the new Atlas 80 volt EDGER in several different situations. We tested it in a yard that's very well maintained, in a park that's semi-maintained, probably not edge, but probably weed whacked, and we tried to do one edge that was pretty rough, probably hasn't been maintained in a while. So we kind of got some good initial opinions about it. Obviously we'll do continued testing and we'll give you any updates if anything changes as far as our recommendations. So here's where I stand on it. The pros, it works. It seems like it's a well-designed machine and it does the job. Has a lot of options, like I said, the adjustable wheel. These are not necessarily cons, but I want to let you know that these are some concerns I have that maybe continued testing will prove me wrong on. A couple things. At first, when I had this, I kind of expected that there might be maybe a guide bar in here or something to like ride along the sidewalk. My corded electric edger has that, but I've come to see that I don't think a lot of the gas edgers have them either, so I don't really want to call that a con. And it seems like once you get going, if you're riding along the blade itself, it kind of acts as a guide bar. It's kind of what I expected on that. It kind of seems to me like the RPMs might be a little low for it. Like I said, it does the job, but I don't know. We'll have to keep testing on that one, but that's a concern I have. Another concern that I have is battery life. So what we had was the initial 80 volt, 2.5 amp hour battery that was offered with the tools, you know, probably 2021 and 22, maybe just 2022. I have some concerns about battery life because when we went to the edge that was not well maintained at all, we were able to do probably about 100 feet of one side of the sidewalk after doing the trimming in our yard here in town, which was, you know, like I said, regularly maintained. So I don't feel like we put a lot of load on it in town. So I feel like the fact that we only went about 100 more feet into the unmaintained area kind of makes me think a couple things. One, if you have this and you have, if you do a lot of work of unmaintained edges, or if you just have a lot of work that needs done the first time, there's two ways we can go here. One, you might want to get another one of the 2.5 amp hour batteries, or something I think would be a good solution would be to go ahead and go with the 5 amp hour battery. If you're buying the tool for the first time and getting the charger and getting the battery, I'd go ahead and go up with the 5 amp hour. That way you'll just get enough use out of it to get that first initial trim. Because you know how edging is, to where it's easy to maintain, but that first time it's usually kind of rough on the equipment. Other than that, I'm fairly happy with it at this point. Everything seemed to work kind of a lot like the trimmer does, as far as your trigger and all that whatnot. Kind of the amount of weight it has on it. It's a relatively lightweight machine. Obviously, it weighs more on this on the cutting head here than it does for the trimmer, because that's usually just the motor. So I feel like it's a little bit heavier, but it's still an easy to use machine. It works quickly. It's still nice to have something where you can just plug in a battery and go. Is this better than gas edgers? The jury's still out on that. Maybe. I don't know. I guess it depends on if you're doing for residential use or commercial. For residential in-town lot use, especially if you generally keep these maintained, you could probably run this every single time you mow the grass and never have a problem with it, and still do your trimming and blowing at the end. Commercial use, like I said, the batteries is not so much of an issue because you can always buy more batteries. My thoughts are is that, like I said, it kind of seems like the motor could run at faster RPMs to doing the cutting better. Other than that, it seems to be a pretty good product. We will continue to test it and we'll kind of like let you know. But right now, I think we're gonna Gonna hold on to it. It seems to be a step up from the corded EDGER I have, which is heavier. It seems like it has a much heavier handle and cutting head, and of course you're tethered by the electric cord. So, so for now, I'm gonna say I'm gonna give this a 3.5 out of 5 so far, and we will continue to test it, and we'll let you know. And if we ever do pick up the longer battery life, we'll do some testing there and kind of let you know how long that lasts. So thank you all for watching. I know these Atlas tool videos, there's definitely, whenever they come out, there's definitely a lot of people that see them and want to go find out about them on YouTube. So thank you all for watching. Appreciate it, and go ahead and stay tuned. We'll let you know of any updates, and we'll go ahead and catch our tractor stuff too. So if you like what we're doing, go ahead and click the thumbs up button. Share it to people you think might be interested in it, or that might get some educational content out of it. And subscribe if you want to keep seeing what we're doing and you're happy with what we're doing. Other than that, we'll catch you next time on Tractors, Trails, and Living Free.